that, you know what, I could do my get ready with me. I was supposed to do it earlier this week and have it up on Thursday, but this one is already Saturday. And I wanted to talk about fighting in relationships. I like people in general are always like, relationships are work. We fight every day. And, you know, different people fight about different things. And obviously it's their personal business, so they don't have to tell you what the fight is about. But a lot of people giving advice and trying to reassure you that relationships, or like warn you that relationships are, do you hear me? That relationships are hard work and everything. No one ever really tells you what. Like, everyone's just like, relationships are hard work. Marriage is hard work. Yes, it is, but I think people need better examples of what that means. And people are just like, compromise, and it's fine. They're giving you basic broad topics without getting into their business, because they don't have to get into their business. But I would like to give an example or whatever about hard work, like a very specific example without getting too specific, you know, for privacy reasons. So, like, in a good, healthy relationship, the reason why people fight is, I think, the same across any age board, especially if you're in a committed relationship. You might not fight in a relationship that's like just going along because no one's really that serious, so there isn't a lot of tension because you're kind of just going with whatever happens. But when you start to actually commit to someone, no matter the age, I think the fights happen because you need to understand, like, both of you want to understand each other. And so back to my example. So a fight might be over behavioral things. What's a good example? I'm trying to give you specific examples so you can understand, because that's what I wish someone had given me, like actual specific examples, instead of just being like, people fight because you're different. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Sorry, more disclaimer. In my head, I used to think, well, I don't think I have anything to fight with somebody about, because I only have my like non-negotiables, and those things aren't fights. If it happens, I'm out. And they're like big ones. It's not like if you shaves in the sink. But that is a good example of a fight. Back on topic. Something personality or behavioral. And people will be like, that's petty. It's not petty when you know you have to deal with something for the rest of your life. Healthy relationships, they say healthy relationships fight because that means people aren't bottling things up and letting it fester. Because you can pretend something doesn't bother you, right? And be like, okay, you know, that's really annoying to see, but I'll get over it. Addressing it changes your whole life. Like I was saying, somebody shaves in the sink. Like, you think it's gross. You're like, don't shave in the sink. Shave in, you know, on a towel, and then throw the towel. I don't know what y'all want. Like, I shave in the shower. The person that I'm with could be like, oh, I'll stop shaving in the shower, it's clogging the drain. For me personally, it's not that big a deal, so I'd be like, fine, and I'd shave like probably outside of the shower or whatever. Look, that's never happened to me, but if it did, I could see myself adjusting. No fight. However, if I was someone that was adamant about shaving in the shower because to me it was more hygienic or it's more clean or something like that, like, I'm like, no, I always shave in the shower and that's that. You know what I mean? Like, that's final. That is something that can lead to a fight, and the fight becomes more about, why are you trying to tell me what to do? Why can't you respect how I've been living till I met you? Like, when you met me, this is what I did. And I think that's what a lot of fights are about. When you met me, I was like this. When you met me, this is how it was. It wasn't a problem then. And of course it wasn't a problem in the beginning, because people don't know where relationships are going to end up. But as you really invest your feelings and emotions into someone, a lot of things start to trigger you. And it can get from something like that, which is a little more mundane, but still can end up serious, to something personality wise where it's like, I don't like when we go to parties and you have to be the center of attention, because say you're two people where one person, like, you both like to go out, but maybe for the sake of this argument, we'll say you're the person who likes to be more reserved and your partner goes through the room. They're louder than you, they're more excitable than you. They talk to strangers all the time, and they're like chummy with like people you've never met before, and sometimes it leaves you out, and sometimes you feel left out, but also you feel like sidekicked. You don't like that because that's your partner. You wish that when you went out or when they went out, they would think about you more than like being the person in the room. You think that they should know this, and you've gone out before, and it's starting to really bother you. So those kinds of things end up as fights. Those are the kinds of things people don't talk about, but that is, I think, what ends up as fights a lot, because then it becomes a fight. Like the person who's your partner, who's more outgoing, is starting to feel like, so should I not, be friendly? Should I, what do they want from me? Like, do they want me just to, like sit at home with them? Or, they'll start to go to extremes because their feelings are hurt, because it sounds to them like you no longer like that friendly side of them. Like that's now the problem, even though that's how you met. You are sitting thinking more like, it's not about you being friendly. It's about you being friendly to the point where you forget that I'm even there. And that can feel really hurtful. Dismissed. That's the word I wanted earlier. They can feel really dismissed. And like anyone in a relationship feeling dismissed by their partner, that can really stir up some hurtful feelings. So both people are now hurt. And both people think their personality is the problem. The person who brought it up is thinking about that. They're like, I just brought up a situation. I didn't say anything was wrong with your personality. But when you're arguing, all the right words don't come out, right? And so that becomes the argument. It becomes lifestyles. And then what adds to the argument also is whether you are a solution-oriented person or an emotional-oriented person. So when you get upset or when something goes wrong, what is your first instinct? Is your first instinct to solve the problem, fix the problem, get through the problem? Or is your goal to let your feelings be known to either yourself or whoever you have the problem with, and like just to express that and to feel those feelings and to let people know that those feelings are here and they're not going anywhere? But I noticed that a lot of relationships, they'll have a goal-oriented person and a feelings-oriented person. Some people, I think, are a mixture of both. So it's like you have to know which one you are, and you have to get to know which one your partner is, because that will determine how you both approach the argument. Because if you're both opposite, sometimes you get two people in the same thing and you might have a whole cyclical argument. So both of you try to get to a solution, but you can't agree on what solution to get to, or both of you are so busy trying to express yourselves, nobody thinks of a solution. It's when it's the two opposites, because one person's trying to work through, get to the root of it, and the other person is busy trying to express themselves. Suspend your own feelings for a moment. And I know that that's also hard when you're in an argument and you feel like your personality is being attacked, especially when it's not a bad thing. When it's like a good personality trait that doesn't really hurt anybody, but it's now hurting your partner, an aspect of it. Like, they didn't say not be friendly. They said, can you include me in your friendliness? That's all. People are like, relationships are hard work. That's the kind of hard work I think they mean. Getting to know someone's personality, getting to know how they emote. That's just one example of why fights happen in a relationship. Oh shoot, I didn't pull the braid apart. That was kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I'm only doing the front because I have somewhere to be. I always do the front two last. How long is this taking? Well, maybe because I might watch the videos and then I started doing this. In 20 minutes, I've done exactly 2 braids. This is the refresh. Oh, what I always use for my refresh? My holy grail. This one. Oh my gosh. Manuka honey and yogurt shea moisture. I can only pray that they never stop making that line. If they do, I won't know what to do. I use a lot of different products in their line. I like to experiment with them because each of them is a little different and they give me something different and they do different things. So I have a couple Shea Moisture products I just love buying. But, oh my gosh, if they ever stop making this line, I'll be at a loss. Because I just feel like it's been the best for my hair, especially the way I wear it, which is like 87% in twists like this. And then sometimes I'll have a stint, like a long stint where my hair is out. And that one is just really good for me. It really works for me. It keeps it helps me with detangling. It keeps it moisturized. So, and I feel like it keeps it strong, like, you know. There we go. Get up in that root. The major part of retwisting for me is the detangle part. Anyone who's kept their braids in too long, which was me a couple months ago, I actually lost a lot of hair. Because not breakage or any of that. Like, I had to cut my hair free because I left my twist in too long. That just means, you know, a little more detangling, than a little more attention, than a little more, honestly, a little more oil. I didn't retwist this off, and I was only like retwisting just the front like I'm doing right now. But this weekend I'll be doing piece at a time till I retwist the whole thing. Now, we'll do like a mini co-wash on just that piece because it was just way too dirty. Squeeze it dry. Let some of the dirt come out with it. And it's much better. It's much better. The top on it. There you go. It's funny, it's like a little springboard. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to separate that. Boop. Boink. I have to do these. I'm gonna do this one. Leave them two for later. But I'm gonna do this one really quickly. I wanted to put on camera the differences in length between the front of my hair and the crown, or things at the top. Like just up here though. Like this top on the sides, not as long as like this section, this section. And I have a running theory. It's because this section of my head gets more sweat. It gets more humidity and more moisture. Like when I feel heat, it's all up in here, like right up here. And I feel like that leads to the hair there being thicker. It's longer and it feels like, I don't know how else to say, but more durable. But yeah, like the crown of my head is like thriving. That's just me putting tension on it. So but like without tension, tension movie out. Without tension, we're talking like, there you go. But it obviously also right now is stretched. But anyway, it's more just about the general thickness of it is completely a lot more sturdy. That's the best word I could think of. And I wish all the hair in my head was as thick as it was in the middle. And I feel like I just need to do, maybe because also that part doesn't get messed with as much. And me and the sides are always getting messed with, and the back isn't getting messed with by external factors, and the front's getting messed with by me. So maybe I should, I'm going to treat my whole head, I'm going to protect the rest of my head the way the crown of my head gets protected naturally because of its positioning. And maybe the rest of my hair will get thicker like that. Okay, bye.